Welcome to Lonely Licks with Sean Daniel, where the only thing lonelier than the licks is a security guard at Rob Thomas's meet and greet. So the lonely lick that we're going to learn today is going to sound like this. Now, why is that lonely? Does it sound like loneliness? To some people, maybe it is. Loneliness is, to a certain extent, a very personal thing. But the reason this is such a lonely lick is because all it is one minor triad. The minor chord being the universal chord of loneliness. And just a single triad without any other notes just kind of, makes for a very lonely lick. So what a triad is just a chord that has 3 notes. And the one that this is actually built off of is an E minor. So the notes of E minor are E, G, and B, okay? And this right here is going to be a combination of chord voicings, arpeggios, all that good stuff we like to harp on. So basically, all it starts off with is a chord voicing. And it's kind of like the A string rooted bar chord that you may be familiar with, rooted on the 7th fret of the A string. So it's like 7A, 9D, 9G, 8B, 7E. But all we're going to use are the highest 3 notes of this triad, the 3-note chord right here. So I've just kind of got this staircase thing going on from 9G, 8B, and 7E. Very lonely, as lonely as it gets. Now we're going to slide into that. I'm going to climb through this chord. So G, B, E are the strings that I'm hitting. All right? Now, the cool thing that we're going to do is we're going to connect this to another chord voicing you've probably already seen, and it's a really simple one. And it's going to be on the 12th fret. Just barring the 12th fret. Now, the E string rooted voicing of an E minor looks like that. I know you know that, just 2A, 2D. If we do that same thing across the octave, an octave higher, it ends up being this chord, 12, 14, 14, 12, 12, 12, rooted on the low E string, but we're just worried about just those highest 3 strings again, okay? So we're connecting this chord voicing to this chord voicing, which actually share a couple of the same pitches, but what we're going to do is we're going to climb through this and then continue on and go backwards through the 12th fret one, okay? So it's actually kind of like G, B, E, E, B, G. All right, so... And if you notice, I'm playing this finger style, and I'm adding a mute in between there. So chord voicing 1. All I did there is I kind of held the G string while I was making my move through that, before I hit the harmonic anyways. And then by the time you get to this, you can start the next lonely part of this lick, which is just really a slide into the root note of what we're doing in E. So the 14th fret on the D string, it's minor 3rd, and then back. So root, minor 3rd, root, into another spot on the neck. Because a lot of this lick loneliness we're talking about is going to be not about being efficient, but about being flashy and making it look like we're going all over the fretboard. We could easily do this right here, but I want to start here because I want to take this back to the beginning, okay? So again, we've got the beginning of this one, backwards here, slide to the root, minor 3rd, into this arpeggio right here, 7th fret of the A string, which is E, minor 3rd is 3 frets on the same string, we're sliding into that, into its 5th, the 9th fret on the D string. Okay, so we've got kind of like a root, minor 3rd root, back, which kind of brings us to the exact same thing. We're going to repeat the whole thing, but here. And the reason this is going to sound like there's more closure is because of where we're actually ending on. The first time through, in the first half of the lick, if you want to, if we stop right here. That one right there, the E is minor 3rd, and it's 5th. We're stopping on the 5th, though it doesn't really have that resolution. But the next time, root minor 3rd, backwards, end on the root note. So ending on that E kind of brings resolution to what we're working on, okay? So just different ways about going about the same thing through an arpeggio, however you want to do it. Now, we can actually combine these with chords, just little pieces of them, because again, the whole point of the series is to start making connections instead of actually just learning single licks. So I think something that's really valuable and something I use a lot is I'll take this first triad, this E minor triad, however you want to see it, and I'm going to know that I just have to go from here to here to get to my next chord voicing. So if I have this one chord, I can think of, okay, the 7th fret is where the top of this is, and then the 12th fret is going to be the top of the next chord. So that's a 5 fret space that takes me from this minor chord to this. Same chord, different location, kind of has a cool different sound. So maybe if I have 2 chords going, if I have like an E minor to a D minor, I can kind of experiment with that. So the E, D, E, D, A, back to E. And you know, it's just kind of like making those connections that this one is always going to connect to this, no matter what kind of chord I'm at, no matter what key I'm in, no matter what voicings I'm using, I can always take something from this and move it to here, which maybe is even just a better way to get into like a minor pentatonic thing, however you want to do it. But the more of these licks you learn, the less lonely you'll be in the long run, and that is a Sean Daniel guarantee. So if you have any questions or comments, please hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, the website, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.